Welcome to the Swift Talk. I'm Kait, the Swiftie.
And I'm somehow making Kait break before we even roll. Not so swift, Sam.
I have the giggles today.
That's good.
I like the giggles.
You laugh it up sometimes.
I really do. I can't pull myself back in.
Welcome to my world. I don't ever want you to pull yourself back in. Just stay laughing all the time.
Just going to be giggling all episode.
All episode. We're in the bushes. We're in the weeds already. So hi, Kait. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. The Swifties are a little wound this week. Yeah.
They need to visit your anesthesiologist. They're a little wound up. It's a reference to laughing gas.
Oh, yeah. Got it. Are you gassing me in the car?
Just gaslighting you, sweetie.
Yeah. Such a functional relationship.
Oh, why is everyone wound up?
So have you heard of the country star Zach Bryan?
Is Zach Bryan the...
He's not like the gods, guns, and girls dancing on truck beds.
Yeah, not him. Not that guy.
He's a little bit more like in the Chris Stapleton.
Okay.
Like smoky country.
Okay.
And he tweets, actually somebody I really like from he dates somebody I really like from Barstool.
Yeah.
Brianna Chicken Fry, who's got her own podcast called Plan Brie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a big fan. So he was tweeting, perhaps tweeting drunk, as people tend to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he tweeted, Eagles better than Chiefs, Kanye better than Taylor. Who's with me?
Well, Philadelphia is with him.
The first half, yeah.
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 I mean, maybe he tweeted that on LinkedIn a prayer, like maybe he's just trying to spread his wings.
He has since deactivated his X, Twitter. I don't even know what
deactivated it.
Yeah, I don't even know what we call this anymore. X, Twitter,
Truth,
sure.
Truther,
the Bird app. So he deactivated because the soldiers were like, "What is wrong with you? Kanye is a anti-Semite. He's a terrible person. Like, what is happening here?" And he was like, So he took to his Instagram stories to apologize. And he said, "I'm not coming for Taylor. I really like Taylor's music. She's got a lot to say. I have a lot of respect for Taylor. I was just, drunkenly comparing. I'd been listening to a lot of Kanye lately, the older stuff, and he really is a genius. And I will give you, Kanye's older work is fantastic.
Yeah, 808s and Heartbreaks for me and everything prior. Right afterwards, you got one, but when it gets to Life of Pedro and stuff, I'm just like, nah.
Yeah.
Scoopity poop, de scoop, de doop, de doop.
So he was like, I was just drunkenly comparing football, and I was like, well, okay, Eagles, Chiefs, okay. Could have done Eagles, Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Also a rivalry.
But he dropped out, and he's going to come back harder, better, faster, stronger?
Comes back stronger than a 90s trend.
Mm-hmm.
So he just said he was going through a hard time and projecting a little, and this is, and I do think that he is probably pretty salty with Taylor. He released an album right around Tortured Poets,
mm-hmm.
and she did the variant thing, and he didn't get #1, which if it wasn't for Taylor being in the mix, his album probably would have gone to #1. He also blew up quick. He was famous. He was playing, bigger venues, but now he's playing stadiums.
Mm-hmm.
His life really kind of changed overnight. There's some speculation that he's going through a breakup of his own, and he just took to his feelings.
Hey, listen, when you're deep in your feelings, sometimes you hurt the ones you love. So,
well, I'm interested to see the fallout from this because Brie is also on the BFF podcast with
mm-hmm.
Dave Portnoy from
mm-hmm.
Barstool, and Dave is a big Swiftie.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how their episode comes out today too. So it's always a thing. All of this happens after we've recorded. So I'm like, all right, I'm to make a note about that for next week because I won't remember. I'm getting old.
No.
I had a birthday this week. I'm old.
You do. Do you remember?
The 28th night of September. I sure do. Best cover.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We could do that again today. See if you have Stockholm Syndrome come around on it.
Well, this has been a fun run.
You're going to have to listen to it in the car, though.
Yeah, I will.
Taylor was not at the football game this week.
Really?
Yeah, she didn't want to go to Atlanta. I don't know. Everyone's got a theory, and I was like, she had something else going on. She didn't want to go.
What are some of the theories? Or is there anything like prominent? Just
Yeah.
She was just doing something else.
She was just doing something else.
She cleaned the bathroom that day.
She had to take care of the cats.
Mm-hmm.
Probably in the studio.
She's a childless cat lady. She has things to do. Yeah, she's still getting some blowback from the endorsement. I'm I guess very surprised that people were surprised that she endorsed Harris.
Right. Well,
clearly you haven't watched the documentary.
But isn't that some of the thing is like she is famous enough that you could show her photo to anyone in the world.
Yeah.
And the highest percentile of people are all going to be like Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah.
Recognizable.
Absolutely.
But if you ask them, okay, what's the name of one of her cats? They might say what? Or
Meredith.
if you said, can you name one of the albums?
Red.
Or if you said, what are her political viewpoints?
Democrat.
When it comes to the taxation of income, and when it comes to what's her idea for the rehousing, the restructuring the housing crisis right now?
Well, she's been a bit busy on tour, and she's been a bit busy solving food insecurity.
Not everyone's going to have your information or your PR experience as a bona fide likability consultant. But I think that's the thing is people are going to be surprised because they recognize her and everything they correlate to her is how they know her. So they don't know exactly what she says and the thoughts that she actually has in her head.
Yeah, so people are coming out and they're like, what does Taylor do? She's a billionaire. Like, it doesn't matter that gas costs $5 a gallon or that milk is $10 a gallon or that, it's hard to buy X, Y, and Z that you need. Electric bills have gone up, inflation.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was thinking about that argument. And I was like, well, but she quietly does things to better the world around her. Every city she went to, she donated to their food pantry networks. And she does it to the ones that she gives money. So they have it, they can buy what they need when they need it. And it's enough to really help not just the one food pantry, but the whole network of them. And it's helping, going in and just talking about the fact that if you give X amount of dollars, you can help them feed kids. Like we do Tea Day, where it's like $24 will feed a kid 5 healthy breakfasts and lunches for an entire week.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about that, that feels like nothing.
Right.
And so like Taylor's $500,000 is really going a long way to help with food insecurity. And she's doing that because she wants to. Like, she's not out there doing photo ops. She's not, making a big deal about it. The only reason we know is every so often somebody will be like, oh, well, Taylor donated.
And that's the big thing, too, where Taylor is quiet about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're getting it from third party, and it's true that she's donating her money. She wrote every trucker in her company. She gave them a big fat check for all the drivers and helping them out. Like, we see that not because
all of the people who made her tour happen. So the truck drivers, the riggers, the hospitality, the dancers. Like, and as you've done a lot of those jobs.
But she's not the one being like, hey guys, guess what I did? Because we get that information from the people that are either receiving the bounty or witnessed it. That's where the spin comes in afterwards, because now we're getting a person reporting on another person's account. And that's where it gets a lot of the, because it's enough distance to make it more of the story as opposed to the truth. That's where you get the embellishments or the opinions or this is what I think is what. Well, she says that she's donating. It's like, no, she never said that she did. She did. Yeah. And then everyone else said that she did. That's the stuff that spins out of control and why people are like, well, I can't believe why would she ever say anything about politics? That's not like her.
But she gets to.
Yeah.
Turns out the First Amendment applies to her too.
Whoa.
I know. Oh.
It's crazy stuff.
It's crazy.
Hey guys, welcome to the First Amendment talk. We're here to talk about how the First Amendment impacts Taylor Swift.
And we just lost our whole audience. Yeah. Thanks for listening. So yeah, that's what's going on in our Taylor verse these days.
Well, I mean, Kind of been in a drought here. It's not like there's anything too crazy going on. I mean, the rain's gonna come at some point.
It'll all come in with the rain.
Oh, yes.
If you're fearless enough.
Oh, wait, this is Fearless, right? Okay. Is this Fearless? Oh, okay.
You love Fearless.
Yeah. I'm not afraid to say that I don't, but I'm also I do feel like Fearless. I can palate easier than most of the other songs that she's made in other albums. It's like Cottages.
You claim to love Cottages. You do not love Cottages.
I like the Cottages. I like
don't.
the
You
aesthetic
like one
of the
song
cottage.
off the
I like the
Cottages.
fact that when I listen to any of those cottagecore songs, all the Wi-Fi reception that would go into my brain. So thoughts just stop, and I'm just like, well, this is where I am now. It's like putting yourself on airplane mode. It's great. You're just trapped in the walls that you built yourself as your own prison, which is a cabin in the woods.
So this week, before Sam goes any farther,
This is why I need cards, is so all of my jokes can be pre-approved and pre-written and thought out.
I know I have note cards today. That's why we're so on topic.
Which eras are those?
Gold, Fearless.
Okay.
It's new.
It's new.
Blue.
Blue is new.
Oh, well, blue is technically 1989, but it's for the news.
For the news. Oh, blue is news.
Blue
okay.
is news.
Gotcha.
Fearless.
Okay.
I did not match them to the eras. These are just the colors I had. But yeah, we're jumping into our Fearless era today.
And Come In With the Rain.
Come in with the rain.
Come In With the Rain.
Track 17.
Okay. It's a deep track.
Yeah, it's a bonus deluxe track. So not only is this old,
Was
it's
this
not a vault song. It is not a vault song.
This came out on the original second version of the album.
But it is a bonus deluxe track. So in our grand scheme of this podcast, you have enjoyed exactly one bonus deluxe track.
And which one did I enjoy?
New Romantics.
Okay. All right. Well, the best things in our life are free. And the electric bill isn't going to pay for itself. So we should get into...
Did you just quote New Romantics to me?
No, I'm quoting the best things in... Oh, I can't sing
The
it.
best people in life are free.
Give
All right,
me money.
well, we're going
That's what I want. That's what I want. That's
we're gonna
what I
hit
want.
pause. You hit pause. Sam's going to regroup back into his Taylor Fearless era. And we'll be right back. Well, Sam. Bop?
No.
I am very surprised.
No, oh, come on. It's
All right, so
fine. It's
can we
fine that it's not a bomb.
Can we just start with, I would like you to put on the perspective that this is a song
It is a song.
that she wrote when she was 17, 18 years old. So just put that into your awareness when you start to tear it apart, that this was a song written by a 17, 18-year-old girl for girls with plus 3 or 4 years. This was not written for you.
Oh, I know this wasn't written for me. So this is the odd thing that happens is usually we're doing this podcast, we're doing this recording, and all I'm doing is listening to the song and looking at the lyrics, and that's it. And I might have made one small mistake while listening to this song because I was like, this song is giving me like, it's very like that 2000s. It's like the post Wonderwall feeling, and it's like we hear it with Avril, we've heard it with other like male musicians, female musicians, like the acoustic harumph type of song.
Acoustic angst would be the Spotify playlist.
Yeah. So I just was like, I wonder if there's a wiki about this song.
There is.
And from that wiki, I got to a bit more information about.
Why are you okay?
Again,
You
I
know
made
what?
a mistake.
I'm going to take this win. What did we learn?
We learned that she wrote this song while she was riding the tour bus, opening up for other country artists around the world after her debut.
Mm-hmm.
And part of something I was like, why do I keep seeing Liz Rose everywhere or whatever? Like, it was just popping wiki. It was like, because she's touring on the road, writing a lot of these songs for this new album, she doesn't have a lot of time to have collaborators, and a lot of collaborators you can't always line up because you're going, say, to city, town to town, state to state. So she's doing a lot of this on her own, and then for the other things, it's they're pulling them into the production side when they're recording to help her out finishing these things because she needs 13 songs. This album is one of the 121st songs, spent 58 weeks on the Billboard 100 for the year, making her the youngest artist and youngest female country musician to have this type of album, which went diamond, which is selling a lot more than a platinum album. And we also learned that this hidden message of this song is about leaving the window open. It's I'm not over you yet. It's the I'm still holding out hope.
Won't admit that I wish you'd come back. Wait, do you want to? We know the hidden message lore, though, right?
What's the hidden message lore?
That she capitalizes letters throughout the song. And that's how you get your hidden message, so you know what the song's about.
Didn't look that deep into the wiki, so
right, well, just here to help.
I did see that was highlighted. If I wanted, I was like, well, I think I know what a hidden message is. Didn't realize it was.
One could say an original Easter egg in the Swift world.
Just dropping my phone because I don't need it anymore. We listened to Taylor's versions.
Yes,
but obviously I'm bringing up facts about the original version.
Well, yeah.
Why do you think there was a pivot from, and I want to talk more about the song, but I just want to get your insight. This was originally a track 4, and then it moved to a 17 when they did the Taylor's version.
So it was the track 4 that they
on the platinum edition of. So the platinum edition was released when the album went platinum, which skyrocketed to diamond.
This album is a pivotal album in Taylor's land, and I think that's why we saw this as her first re-record. Mm-hmm. It really is the album where she started to become Taylor Swift. Right. She wasn't just this little cute ingenue, this little like Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana girl. This is the one where she came up, and she's starting to. This is when she won the MTV Music Awards, which started the Kanye thing. This is where she kind of like built that persona of fairy tales and the girl who believes in fairy tales but doesn't know if she's ever going to get hers. Like, this is the start of really a lot of the Taylor lore. Mm-hmm. And so you see with Fearless in these songs that you're like, oh, okay, well, I can trace this song to this, and you can see this song go to this. But I think the re-recording process has really shed a lot of light on how Taylor views her albums and the parts of her life and the way she's put them in there.
So I definitely agree with you. This was the album that really, it's not establishing, it's fulfilled a lot of the role of Taylor, a lot of what she can be, the image of her, the personification, what she can be capable of.
I would argue that this was what established Taylor. I think you were right with your first one.
Okay, it is.
I think the first album, she was like trying to be a country girl. It didn't, like, it worked, but it wasn't really where she wanted to be. I don't know. It wasn't, we don't see a whole lot of that like twang country after debut, where we see a lot more of this like soft fairy tale country, very feminine country come through. Like, she gets a little angry in some of her Speak Now songs, but it's all very like teenage angst. It's not, oh gee, I'm so cute with my curls.
It's so funny. I'm now at the point in my Taylor Swift life that I appreciate the fact that I don't know as much as you do, so I can be surprised at things.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at the track listing for the album, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I think I know what songs are on this. Nope. I thought there'd be more songs that I could recognize on this. Well, Fearless, we've heard, obviously. Love Story, I know.
Yeah.
White Horses, I've listened to and probably really didn't like.
No.
You Belong With Me, I know. The Best Day was one of the early stuff that we did. Yep. Today Was the Best Day.
Written About Mom.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot on this. I was like, this is the second one? Really? Because these songs like this, it's funny because this pops more than most of the songs I've listened to.
This one does.
This pops more.
Okay.
It's not a bop. I just feel like this right here, it's kind of like that. It's, again, like you got to touch that niche. You got to find that thing. Maybe this is the sound that's flowing right now, so you're inspired to like produce it this way. but it just seemed enough. It's different enough than the other songs on this for me to be like, that's why it sticks out.
Well, I think
Because it's high energy, high octane love, or it's kind of like that sadness. And this is just like that. It's bittersweet symphony without being bittersweet symphony.
well, it's the fountain pen version of "You Belong with Me."
I feel like this is the water fountain in the park version of "You Belong with Me." It's not necessarily the water you go to, but when you're thirsty, it's right there. And you know what? It hit the spot.
Well, I think it's interesting when you look at this album with this song, and where she's like, I'll keep my window open, but I'm not going to stand on stage and sing a song for you. And you're like, okay, like she's tired of trying to make you like her. So she's like, you'll find me or you won't.
I'll leave the window open because I'm too tired to call your name. Yeah, I'm still hoping you're gonna come back, but I'm not. I'm done chasing. I'm done.
But I can't keep running after you.
So it's kind of like, this is the weird thing. We're gonna get very meta with this. This is establishing a lot of the Taylor lore then.
Absolutely.
Because we've seen, if you could say, like, there's the five stages of grief. We've seen explosive Taylor, we've seen petty Taylor, we've seen destroyed Taylor. We've seen Taylor's doing good, but actually she's dying on the inside Taylor because she can do it with a broken heart.
We haven't done that one.
And this is the volume is at 100, but the mute button is on. Acceptance of Taylor. So it's, if the second you were to hit the toggle, that full blast she is screaming your name.
Internally, yeah.
Yeah. But
old habits.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like this establishes, it's very interesting because, so another thing, this is the only reason why I brought up that I scrolled into the wiki. She was, the album came out, she was 20, so she wrote this song at 19. And for me, it wasn't like, well, I wasn't 17-year-old girl, maybe on a technicality. It was the idea of it being like, you're 19 and you are this level of hustling right now. You're not only trying to open up and get your name out there and hit it every single time, but you're constantly writing while you're on the road. You're not writing from the comfort of your high school desk, your house desk, the porch,
the writer's room.
Yeah, the lemonade, and you have your staffers. It's like, you're okay. Yep, the bus is rumbling today because it's not the best bus type of lifestyle. It's like, that's kind of impressive to me.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm kind of like, oh, well, it's, the Liz Rose and this and that. It's just because it's, of course, you're pulling people in to help you because you don't have the experience. You don't have the money and the equipment and everything else. You're bringing people to help you bring that to life.
Well, and what we see with Taylor is she really connects with her collaborators. And she keeps them really close and she uses them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
In like modern day, we're getting Jack Antonoff and Aaron Dessner. Early days, it was Liz Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just see her really work with Nathan Chapman.
Mm-hmm.
You see her work with a lot of the same people really exclusively, and it really, like, they understand creatively where she wants to go.
Sure.
And I think it's a really interesting way of creating those ribbons throughout your work where you hear it and you're like, oh, yeah, that's a Taylor song.
So with that in mind, that's kind of why I'm like, this song versus like today was a
fairy tale.
Today was a good day. Today was the best day.
The best day. I had the best day with you. But that
or
was about her
even
mama.
White Horses. Like, I feel like this song would have been. I feel like this song would have been on the radio more. I thought like this would have had more airplay.
It kind of gets lost because it's not. It's a good song.
It's a good song, and Sam flips the table. Yeah,
Sam's flipping tables, throwing coffee. It's a good song. It just, if you're making the choice between You Belong With Me and Come In With the Rain,
no,
you pick You Belong With Me.
This doesn't compare with You Belong With Me. I'm saying White Horses. I'm saying
White horse, just one horse, one night, one horse.
Listen, you couldn't drag me away farther from this conversation right now.
It's not wild. They're not wild.
It's because again, like I feel like maybe it's because it's so similar to other songs, But that's what makes it, my opinion is the idea that it's so similar to other people's music makes it different than her own, which I'm kind of like, why am I resonating with this? Is it because I'm like, well, this is the least Taylor song that ever existed? No, because that's Shake It Off, which is the most Taylor song that ever existed. It's the duality of man, Taylor. I loved what you did there.
It is interesting though, because you do see this theme, like her leaving the window open in Peter off the anthology of Tortured Poets. She says, the woman who sits by the window has turned out the lights. And so it's interesting, again, and I talk about this a lot with Tortured Poets, to see how the re-recording of her old work worked its way into
not for
her
me,
new work.
For me, knowing that I haven't heard the OG version, the Big Red Machine.
The non-Taylor's version.
Non-Taylor, okay, yeah. The version formerly known as Taylor version.
The stolen version?
Would you say that there's a bigger production or sonic or besides a younger Taylor voice?
I think it's just the quality of the voice. And she really did work to keep these as close to the original as possible. She didn't mess around with them really at all. I mean, people will definitely have feelings about the stolen version of 1989 and the Taylor's version and the differences and some changes she chose to make. But I don't really think with Fearless we're seeing much in the way of differences between the two.
So Peter is now tortured, but we're getting a reference to this song.
Yeah. And we've been seeing that a lot in Tortured.
And kind of like, was a song we did last week that was Tortured? And you were helping me realize because I was kind of getting...
last week Tortured?
Was it 2 weeks ago? Last time we did Tortured...
Last week was Tortured?
I think it might have been me that was like, oh, well, I feel like she's calling back a lot of her songs, which now you're, again, giving me concrete information that she totally is. And this whole idea of hidden messages.
We did Me last week.
We did Mean?
Me.
Oh, right. We did Me.
That cotton candy fever dream of a song.
I feel like the sugar crash is finally settled in. That's why I'm so tired today.
We've just blocked it out.
When it comes to... Okay, so let's say she didn't go to the Chiefs game because she didn't... It's not that she didn't want to just be in Atlanta, but she's recording a song. And with a lot of what's going on when it comes to Tortured and her pulling things back and being re-inspired maybe or wanting to finish business after re-recording albums, do you feel like this is somebody... Taylor's not new to having albums re-released. Having a new deluxe version come out, having a platinum version come out.
Variants, yeah.
Having variants come out, having, it's not just the album cover. There's 4 different ones. They make the clock, and then the 5th one is green. Like...
Capitalism, baby.
Yeah. She's found a product, which is her music, which people want, and now it's the new iPhone. It's just a little tweak, a little bit better, a little bit this, but you should get it. Why do you think haters don't talk about that more and haters just talk about the relationship?
Do.
Really?
Well, I mean, I guess inside baseball haters, you hear a lot of like Billie Eilish was like...
Well, yeah, she's always on top of the
dragging.
game because it's like this variant that's released just a month later to boost the...
Weeks.
Yeah. Like years ago, we were talking about this. It was like, it's like the Disney bubble with Marvel. Like it's going to pop at some point.
Sure, absolutely. And I think Taylor understands that because the bubble has popped on her. And so like, for lack of a better phrase, like make hay while the sun shines. Like if you have a fan base that's going to consume what you put into the universe or what you put into the ether, like do it. And I will buy those digital albums and keep you on top. I will buy the merch. I'm down. Tell me. What are we doing today, Taylor?
Do you feel like, so with Drunk Skunk Country Guy, who's like, Eagles and Kanye.
Zach Bryan.
Okay. When it comes to other artists like Billy, him, like we've
Charlie XI has maybe made a couple veiled. Olivia Rodrigo's had some feelings.
Yeah.
Look, I think it's hard to be an artist right now in a Taylor universe. I think the expectation for shows and stadiums has changed post Eras Tour. I think that the way people are consuming music has changed.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way people are buying music is changing.
Mm-hmm.
I think she takes up a huge part of that market share. So if you don't know how to market directly to the particular fan base, you can't just like put it out there on the radio and have a song that hits and have people stream your whole album anymore. Where like if you look at the Spotify charts, Tortured Poets still like top 5 in streamed albums. Not one of the songs is in the top 10.
That's yeah.
And I think that's the interesting point you make here with Taylor as opposed to other artists, because like usually if they're streaming, it's really that one song and you're just listening to it a lot.
Right. Like great example is Eminem getting to the number 1 for what, a week and a half, 2 weeks, based off of the one comeback song.
A week, but yeah.
Yeah. And it's because that's the one that like the video, radio play, Spotify, like that was the one. So everyone's like, yeah, let's listen to it. But that is a song as well that the song got the album up the chart, not just the album because of the creator.
Well, and I think if you really like pull back the microscope here, the Swiftie effect, for lack of a better phrase, we're really into like the Sabrina Carpenter album. That's getting, and like it's a great album, but the Swifties embraced it. Gracie Abrams collabed with Taylor. The Swifties have embraced it. Like you're seeing that Swifties are willing to consume other music, but they're particular about what they're willing to consume.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, this is kind of,
I think in 10, 15, 20 years, there really is going to be the economics of Taylor Swift.
Sure.
And now that I have left you speechless.
Yeah, I feel like now I feel old because I'm just like, wow, everything that you love in this world is just made for money.
Well, just, channel that inner fearlessness.
Well, each and every week we roll what was bought for us with money. The Jillian Petruzziello, How Are You and Your Fellow and Your Money Die, where we pick an album that we bought for money and a song that was made for money. I'm done with this. It's time for change. We're going to roll for an album. We're going to roll for a song. Here we go. We got you a little listy.
I got my list.
Oh.
Do I have that?
It's right under. All right. Give me 2 seconds. Lean back. Got 11 here.
Oh, we're a tortured poet.
Whose woods these aren't? I think I know. All right. And 17.
Ooh, that's an anthology song.
What does that mean?
It means it's round 2 of Taylor Tortured Poets. It's the first of the second round.
What?
It's Black Dog. The Black Dog.
Okay. Black Dog. Great.
Black Dog.
Yeah, my brain
is that a Led Zeppelin cover?
We can't. We just found out I can't sing.
If that is, that's going to be really fun next week.
We're going to find out. Who could say, guys?
Who could say?
Who could say?
Let's get this dog off the leash, baby.
We'll find out next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Thank you all so much for listening, for watching. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's always feel free to just block out the right side of your monitor or whatever when you're watching these things. Like,
somebody told me that I was clearly annoyed with you all the time.
That's not true. That's only when I speak that you get annoyed.
Yeah, about Taylor. Yeah, fair. It's because we've been married for so many years, Sam.
Thank you all for liking. Thank you all for listening to us, sharing us around, supporting our matrimonial nuptials. We are still waiting on all the gifts from the wedding.
We have to decide how long we've been married first. If you haven't already, make sure to like, follow, rate, review, subscribe. Tell 10, 15, 100 of your friends.
Yeah, give us a little comment. Let us know why Kate's right. Let us know why I'm wrong.
If you are also annoyed by saying, no, I'm just kidding.
No, yeah.
Sam.
Oh, please. Your
I'm
boos
just
feed my
kidding.
heart. Please, boo.
Because like the haters gonna hate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks so much for listening. We'll be back next week in our Tortured Poets era.